11 and a half hours ago, 47 cars and drivers set sail on a 12-hour voyage, a sports car racing classic. From the very first lap, the pace has been furious, the jockeying for position bruising. 8 hours after the race started, the sun set over Sebring, Florida, but the race powered ahead. Some of the incidents along the way have been spectacular but harmless. Their drivers' dreams of victory undamaged, while for others, victory has meant merely escape. The checkered flag awaits. Less than 15 minutes remain in the 46th running of the Exxon Superflow 12 Hours of Sebring, and here's how they stand. A world sports car out front. Mauro Baldi, Giampiero Moretti, and Didier Tays hope to sweep America's endurance classics, the 24 Hours of Daytona and the 12 Hours of Sebring in the same year. Then 3 GT1 cars behind the race leader. The GT2 lead has swapped twice in the last hour, and our GT3 leaders are knocking on the door of the top 10. We welcome you back to Sebring International Raceway. We've been here all day long as this race has unfolded. Bob Varsha along with Jeremy Dale. Jeremy, the pace of this race has been absolutely amazing.
Unbelievable, Bob. I can't remember the last time we saw this race running at this kind of pace. But when you've got drivers and teams trying this hard, they're bound to make mistakes, and mechanical problems are going to crop up, and they have.
Of the 47 original starters, 29 are officially still running in the race. Let's get some of those stories now. Down to Marty Reid.
The confidence level is high right now in the Momo Ferrari pit as the number 30 has been duking it out with the number 4 Panos in this great battle that's gone through the night. What happened just a few minutes ago, with 20 minutes to go, the Ferrari made its final pit stop. They thought they were going to give up the lead, or at least get the 4 car back on the lead lap. And then what happened was, we're going to go down to Jan Beekhus, we found out that the 4 car had a problem. Jan, tell us about it.
Well, what's been happening, Marty, is the 4 car did look as though it was going to assume the lead, but they've been having a fuel pickup problem throughout the day. That means that they have 100 liters of fuel, but it appears as though they're only picking up about 80 liters out of the 100. So they had a shot to win this thing. It looks like they're going to win GT1. They still have a shot at the overall, but this last pit stop just moments ago pretty much knocked them out of a overall victory. But remember, everything's done here on pit road. Now it's going to happen on the racetrack. Bob?
Thank you, gentlemen. It has been an action-packed day on the racetrack. You're looking at the number 4 Panos with that big 6-liter Jackraft Ford. What a day they have had. There is the race leader to the left of your screen. Yes, it's very dark, hard to make out the cars in this light. Often here on TV we say it's darker than it actually looks, but that's not the case right now. It is pitch everywhere.
And he's just let the 74 car by, which is running 3rd overall, 2nd in GT1. So Mauro Baldi has backed the pace down a little bit on the WSC leading Momo car at this stage.
What an historic day it would be for Giampiero Moretti, who helped bring the Ferrari 333 SP program to life to win not only the 24 Hours of Daytona for the very first time in his long career, but also to add the 12 Hours of Sebring. That's a story about to play out in the next 30 minutes. We'll be back with more live from Sebring International Raceway. Stay with us.
For those who know the distance, the start is critical. That's why Exxon Superflow races to protect vital engine parts at the start when significant damage can occur. Superflow has a unique formula, offering protection that's fast, protection that lasts.
Adrenaline. It's the rush of pulling Monster Gs on huge 31-degree bank turns. It's the surge of punching 185-mile-per-hour holes in the night. It's 24 hours of sensory overload, known as the Rolex 24 in Daytona. Winning this race takes adrenaline and one tough tire. We know. We won twice. Yokohama. 2 different teams, 2 different classes, 1 awesome tire. Elevate your senses to a new level of response and performance. Yokohama high-performance tires. Feel your adrenaline rush.
All over Italy, they share the same love. Parmesan.
Parmesan.
That's That's why the Olive Garden's created chicken parmigiana like you'll never see. The aroma tells you something's different. But when you cut into it, you'll discover the real surprise. A feast of Italian cheeses. It's called new stuffed chicken parmigiana. Enjoy it with our tricolor pasta and all the salad and breadsticks you'd like. It's stuffed chicken parmigiana. It's only $9.95, and it's only at the Olive Garden.
Parmigiano.
Oh, it's really coming down out there. Cats and dogs. It hasn't rained this hard since last time I had to paint the garage.
Man can't work in the rain.
Pity us.
Is that what you're going to do all day?
I can't hear you. The rain's too loud.
The weatherman said it was supposed to be nice today.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Speed World coverage of the Exxon Superflow 12 Hours of Sebring is brought to you by Exxon Superflow Motor Oil. Protection that's fast, protection that lasts. By Yokohama, turn on the technology. And by Chateau Elan, the subtle difference of excellence. Back live at Sebring International Raceway, Bob Varsha, Jeremy Dale with you. There is the race-leading Ferrari number 30, the Momo-sponsored car. Mauro Baldi, who has spent much of the past 12 hours behind the wheel. Right now, let's bring you up to date on all the events of this race before we take you to the checkered flag. Wayne Taylor and his Ferrari led the way from pole position on a cool, blustery morning, while four of the fastest world sports car at GT1 machines started from the back of the pack for various rules infractions. After 3 days of rain, car setup was a guessing game, but still the race went down at a furious pace, embodied by no one better than David Murray and his wife Riley and Scott Ford, who pressed leader Taylor corner after corner before finally making his way past in the first 15 minutes with the help of a not-so-friendly hip check. Among the cars charging from the back was James Weaver, but his race ended with a broken crankshaft in hour one. The number 5 Panos Ford also surged from back to front, then pitted for analysis of a mysterious engine miss, while driver Eric Bernard sat and pondered his fate. But he and his teammates, Jamie Davies and Doc Bundy, weren't finished. They would be back among the top 5. The identical number 4 car, shared by Andy Wallace and David Brabham, worked the race from back to front and tasted the lead with the help of some hard driving. Too hard, as it turned out. They managed to split the front air splitter on the car, leading to another long pit stop and another tumble down the standings. Weaver took over the number 20 Dyson Ford, and he too tasted the lead at mid-race when Mauro Baldi and his Ferrari tangled with a GT1 class Aurora, the first of 3 near misses for the Daytona winning team. Eric Van de Poel of the pole-sitting Ferrari ran out of fuel and fell back to 32nd, 18 laps down. The constant lead swapping ended briefly when the number 30 Momo Ferrari briefly consolidated a lead. Speaking of hard chargers, the GT1 Porsche, shared by Bob Wallach, Terry Boutsen, and Andy Pilgrim, used hard driving and longer runs between pit stops to take the lead, until officials determined that they had been gassing up just a bit too quickly and penalized them 5 minutes in the pits for an improper fuel flow regulator. Into the twilight 9 hours. Enthusiasm still got the better of the Momo Ferrari drivers, Didier Tays in this case, but they held on to their lead. While Ohio driver Mark Heim was lucky to escape the most spectacular incident of the race, driver unharmed, car destroyed. Some of the high and low lights of the race thus far. There is the number 7 car, Wayne Taylor, Eric Van de Poel. What a day they have had. They started from pole position, dropped back to 32nd place, as you heard, with a fuel problem, worked their way back up into the top 5, and now they're stopped at the racetrack with a fire underneath the back of the car. Now it looks like it's spread to the side pod.
Yeah, it looks like it's smoldering there from within the cockpit or somewhere close to the left front, and he's got it running again. You can see some sparks coming out the back. He wants to get it back to pit lane.
Meanwhile, there is a very similar Ferrari 333 SP, except that one is leading the race. We'll be back to update you on all of the 4 classes in competition and take you to the checkered flag, now less than 10 minutes away. There's Giampiero Moretti on the verge of another tremendous victory.
ESPN Video presents NASCAR 1997 Year in Review. Relive the best of the 1997 NASCAR Winston Cup season.
This is racing here.
Get a behind-the-wheel look at the three-horse battle between Jeff Gordon, Dale Jarrett, and Mark Martin. Plus other behind-the-scenes action for the best in NASCAR racing.
They know who's got the baddest car here today.
To order yours for just $14.99, call 1-800-717-ESPN. NASCAR 1997 Year in Review from ESPN Video.
On Track Magazine. Whether it's Formula One or the Indy 500, On Track gives you the latest and most complete coverage. Each issue puts you on the lead lap with great photography, detailed race coverage, plus insightful commentary and analysis.
If you want to keep up with auto racing from around the world, read On Track. I do.
Call now to put the world of racing at your fingertips with On Track Magazine, the auto racing magazine of record.
Catch the new season of Major League Soccer when the Miami Fusion take on the Tampa Bay Mutiny Thursday at 7:30 on ESPN2.
Coming up tomorrow on ESPN, Winston Cup action. Check out NASCAR Today on ESPN2 at noon Eastern Time, and then switch over to ESPN for NASCAR's 50th celebration continued. The Trans-South Financial 400, live at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, only on ESPN. Here at Sebring International Raceway, we are just minutes from the checkered flag at the 46th running of the Exxon Superflow 12 Hours of Sebring. One of the great battles all day long has been in the GT2 category as you watch the front-running Ferrari scraping that nose on the ground in a shower of sparks virtually since the twilight hours and hours ago. Less than 4 minutes to go now to the checkered flag. Headlights continue to pierce the darkness here at Sebring. An historic racetrack that has seen so many wonderful battles. Mario Andretti switching Ferraris to hold off the challenge of Steve McQueen and company in a Porsche about 2 decades ago. All of the great names have raced here.
And you really have to think that Ferrari has turned a corner. This will be their third win in 4 years here at Sebring. The Scandia team having won it twice now. Look at that GT1 Porsche there. You can see right in the side of the car there.
Picking up our GT2 class leader, the number 66 Porsche 911, handled by Franz Conrad and Nick Ham. They are currently running 19 laps off of the race leader, the World Sports Car race leader, that is. But just behind them, 3 laps behind now, the number 65 car of Steve Saleen, Ron Johnson, and Tommy Archer runs in second place in that class.
And the 99 car that sits in third, only about 5 laps ago, was up on the same lap with the leader in the class. So they're in trouble now, dropping back very quickly. Not very long ago, the Saleen car was back in 4th in class. So just in the last 15 minutes or so, this class in GT2 has really jumped around.
The GT3 leadership really hasn't changed much all day long. That is how dominating the prototype technology group has been in this form of sports car racing in America. Right now, Boris Said from Carlsbad, California, is in the car, the BMW M3 6-cylinder that he has shared with the man who put it on pole in the class, Bill Auberlen. They are looking to do the double-double, a sweep of the 24 hours of Daytona and 12 hours of Sebring in 2 successive years. A phenomenal achievement. If anything, Boris and Bill have been nervous all day. As you see the white flag waving, one more lap of this 3.7-mile course to go. BMW drivers have been nervous about throwing it away. They said it's been our race to lose. That's a lot of pressure to carry for 12 hours.
You know, you look at Giampiero Moretti and the Momo team. They've tried for so long to win a major endurance race. 6 weeks ago, they pull it off at Daytona after 15 years of trying. And now here they are at Sebring, and they're going to do it again. It's just a phenomenal performance from this team and everyone involved with it.
There is Giampiero Moretti, called upon his friend, Piero Marty Ferrari, to build a sports car and rekindle the Ferrari magic in sports car racing on both sides of the ocean. This car will go to Monza, Italy to race next Sunday. Of course, you'll see them at Le Mans as well, all over the world as the summer of sports car racing wears on.
And as most of our viewers know, Giampiero Moretti does drive, but he has driven very little in this race. He only drove one stint. He was losing time. His other drivers are quite a bit quicker than he is, and he knew that if he spent too much time in the car, it was going to jeopardize the race win, so he stepped out, left it to Didier Tays and Mauro Baldi to bring this car to victory, and they've done just a brilliant job.
Talking with Kevin Doran, who handles preparation of the car here in North America. Kudos to him, too. This will be the first win for Kevin Doran, who's been doing this for a very long time and has seen victory slip away here at Sebring in the late hours on more than one occasion. It looks like Giampiero Moretti, after so many years of trying, will win the 36 Hours of Florida.
I guess Bill Oberlin and Bohr have said there are 72 for 72 now.
Yes, they are.
The double-double is 72. That's really incredible.
On to the front stretch they come, and the checkered flag waves over the number 30 Momo Ferrari 333 SP. Ferrari is back in force in North American sports car racing. Victory to Giampiero Moretti, Didier Tays, and Mauro Baldi. In the GT1 class, the Panos, number 4, shared by Andy Wallace and David Brabham, son of the legendary Sir Jack Brabham, who nearly won a Formula One race on this track back in 1959, 39 years ago. They will take the win in the GT1 class. There is the team manager, Tony Dow. There's a smile from Tony. A long day for this team. They have been up and down the leaderboard with both of their cars.
Well, I think the important thing for these cars is they both finished. This team has fought reliability for the last year, and both cars come home in 2nd and 4th overall, 1st and 3rd in class. A great performance.
2 more Sebring champions still to come home. We'll take a quick break and return live to welcome them and start talking with our winners. Stay with us.
Zero-pressure Michelin. So revolutionary it won't go flat, even with a puncture the size of a golf ball, letting you drive up to 50 miles at 55 miles per hour. Just what you'd expect from Michelin.
Independent rear suspension, dual shocks, and a sway bar. Rick, it's all there.
That's good, because when things get rough out there, suspension is everything.
The Sportsman by Polaris is the best performing, best riding ATV you can buy. Here's why. Other manufacturers use a straight axle that bounces over obstacles, losing traction. Our independent rear suspension hugs the terrain for better traction and a smoother ride. The Sportsman 500 and the all-new Sportsman 335 with shaft drive.
You gotta ride it to believe it.
Yeah, my name is Rick. Everybody calls me the Rick. You know, a lot of people make fun of sports enthusiasts. You know, they say, you know, you got to read, you know, like go read some Kafka or something. I look at it as, hey, I don't know to read. I don't have to go read some book about a Cocker Spaniel, a guy who turns into a Cocker Spaniel. Cockroach? Is it a cockroach? Whatever it is, you know. See, that's what I mean. Whatever the Kafka, I've heard about him.
Be sure to tune in to ESPN2 tomorrow for the NHRA Pennzoil Nationals from Houston Raceway Park in Houston, Texas. Final round coverage coming your way at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, only on ESPN2. Back live at Sebring, Florida, the Momo Ferrari crew out into victory lane, right on the front straightaway here at Sebring International Raceway as a new group of champions surround their race car take their place in the history books of this great race. There is Mauro Baldi, who did much of the development driving for the Ferrari 333 SP. He has taken it to victory lane on more than one occasion. The winningest driver, in fact, to handle this Ferrari sports car. Down to Marty Reid.
Well, guys, the celebration is continuing. Mauro Baldi, who climbed behind the wheel at 5 minutes to 8, takes it the distance as he was clicking off consistent laps at 2:02 and 2:01. And right now, after trying to catch his breath, there is a huge smile under this helmet. Let me see if I can squeeze through this jubilant crew. You can see these guys, they know they have won the 36 Hours of Florida, as you put it, Bob. And Mauro, I just saw a big, deep sigh, and here comes the helmet, and here we go. We'll get a chance. Let me lean over here. Are you tired? I mean, you've been in this car a long time.
Yes, I'm tired, but when you are leading, you don't feel the fatigue. And I have to say that when you drive a very good car, you're never tired to drive. So everybody of us were very, very motivated. We wanted to win this one, and we were in the position to win it, so only 2 hours to go, we couldn't fail, and we have done it.
Did you have any doubtful moments in that last 2 hours?
Excuse me?
Did you have any doubtful moments in that last 2 hours?
No, there was the moment that there was the last pace car, and I think the two panos.
Didier Taste coming in here.
The two panos were just behind me, so I had to be, I mean, at that moment I didn't know if I could be quicker or not, so I had to start very quick.
So, tell me how it feels to realize that you've just won the 36 Hours of Florida.
That's unbelievable. 1, 2.
You realize now, guys, this crew is going to go for the 60 hours because they're heading for Le Mans tomorrow. Jan?
Well, here's a couple of guys that hoped that they could win an overall, but you are GT1 champions. David, you brought the car home. But the amazing thing to me, it was just you, Andy Wallace, and David Brabham behind the wheel. 2 guys, 12 hours. But you look like you're fine.
Well, I don't feel fine, that's for sure. It's certainly very tough. This track's quite rough, and it certainly beats the hell out of you. But, you know, the Vista and Ford Panos just ran pretty good, really. We had a front splitter problem, which set us back about 5 laps. So if we had not have had that problem, I think we would have been in victory circle.
Let's turn to your teammate here, Andy. You guys also had 100 liters of fuel, but you couldn't use it all. There's a fuel pickup problem. How big of a factor was that?
Yeah, for some reason we kept leaving about 20 liters in the tank, and it was infuriating because we tried everything we could. We didn't risk running out, but we just couldn't pick that last few liters up.
Now, you've won GT1, but I know you wanted the overall. Is this somewhat of a disappointment?
I've won this race twice overall. I finished 4 times second overall, and it sucks.
Bob? All right, thank you. Marty Reid Jan Beekhus in our Suzuki Winner's Circle interview. Don't think I've heard a better one than that one in quite a long time. We'll take a break. The celebration is just beginning. Lots more still to come, live from the Exxon Superflow 12 Hours of Sebring.
For those who know the distance, the start is critical. That's why Exxon Superflow races to protect vital engine parts at the start when significant damage can occur. Superflow has a unique formula, offering protection that's fast, protection that lasts.
Discover timeless styling that goes beyond fashion. Discover superior quality and attention to detail that's backed by more than mere words. Discover the finest cruiser that delivers an extraordinary experience unmatched by any other. Discover yourself on a Royal Star by Yamaha.
Newton established the equation for force before he could ever see force personified. He never watched hockey, and now he's dead. Watch the NHL on ESPN2 before life passes you by.
Speed World coverage of the Exxon Superflow 12 Hours of Sebring is brought to you by Exxon Superflow Motor Oil. Protection that's fast, protection that lasts. By Yokohama, turn on the technology. And by Chateau Elan, the subtle difference of excellence. Back live at Sebring International Raceway. Yes, there are Tifosi even here in Florida. Let's take a look at the final results. The full field of cars that began the day, each driver hoping to win this race. Victory to the Ferrari over the GT1 Panos Ford. Second place World Sports Car of Wayne Taylor sat on pole, wound up 6th after a troublesome nighttime run. Our GT2 winner in the top 10 as well. In the 5th spot, Nick Ham in a Porsche, sharing with Franz Conrad.
And a great effort by the 20 car, the Dyson car, to fight back to 3rd in World Sports Car, even though they were well back, 29 laps down, 13th overall.
29 cars officially running at the finish. And then there were those whose dreams ended early here at Sebring around this historic racing circuit. Some of them simply mechanical woes, and the cars puttered to a stop at the side of the track. Some of them much more spectacular, including a couple of major fires. These cars all out of the race on a very eventful day. Another classic Exxon Superflow 12 Hours of Sebring. Let's meet some more winners. Here's Marty Reid.
Yeah, we're down here with another team that has won the 36 Hours of Florida. Franz Conrad, Nick Ham, and Nick, what a battle between you and Larry Schumacher's 99 car the last hour.
It's incredible. I'm absolutely exhausted. We had a back and back battle for a couple of laps, and then I pulled away a little bit, and he'd come right back, and I'd make a couple of mistakes, and then I spun in the last corner, just trying so hard, and then he spun in the next corner, and I guess hurt his car, so we went on to win then. But just a great team effort and good tires with Dunlop.
And Franz, this guy did so good, you're going to take him over to Le Mans with you, right?
Yes, sure. He will run in our GT2 car in Le Mans, and he will run in the FIA Championship in Europe. And he did a fantastic job. The whole crew did a fantastic job. The tires was fantastic, so we're very happy in the end.
Well, the team owner's extremely happy. This guy's extremely exhausted, and we're going over to Jan with another double-double winner.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, the BMW team, the car number 10, Boris said, brought it home across the line. You definitely had the dominant car. As a driver, how much pressure when it really could have been up to you guys to throw this race away because you had the equipment?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, BMW is the ultimate driving machine. I mean, first 24 hours of Daytona, now the 12 hours of Sebring. We drove the car as hard as we could, and we didn't have one problem in both races. So I think it's just a testament to the team. Brian Krem, Tom Milner, everyone at Prototype Technology, Fiat and Yokohama put together a great package.
Now, earlier you told me that this was boring. You said it was so easy. At some stages it was boring. How does it feel now as a winner?
I mean, winning doesn't suck ever, but, it would have been fun to race a little closer with other people. I mean, I like to race close, and, we had the dominant car today, and we were the dominant drivers. Bill was really fast. He did a great job, and, I just kept it out of trouble and kept going round and round and round for 12 hours, so I'm pretty happy.
All right, congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Bob?
Thank you, gentlemen. Our viewers out there have been doing other things all day, but these guys have been racing for 12 long hours. And as you heard Nick Ham say, racing for victory right down to the final corners. Your final thoughts, Jeremy Dale?
Well, I'm so impressed that 3 out of the 4 classes have won both at Daytona and Sebring. The quality of the teams and the drivers here is just fantastic. And I wonder what the Moretti team's going to do. Now they're leading both the SCCA-sanctioned USRRC Championship and the Professional Sports Car Racing Championship. I don't know where they're going to race this year.
Well, it certainly was an interesting day for me. I've been coming here to Sebring for a long time. Marty Reid, your final thoughts?
Well, it's got my blood excited about what could happen as we go to Le Mans. I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see what the WSC class can do with the 30 car, and also a team like Franz Conrad. This guy is very, very good over in Europe. I've watched him in Super Cup. Jan, what do you think?
Well, I have to go with Jeremy on this one. This has been such a fast race. The pace has been awesome. This is a 12-hour sprint race, and it's fun to watch. There's no holding back here. Guys?
Well, gentlemen, these are troubled times for sports car racing in America with 2 different sanctioning bodies. One race has been sanctioned by each of those bodies. Each of them has been absolutely spectacular. We thank you for joining us. I'm Bob Varsha. Coming up next, women's college basketball, the Mideast Regional Final from Nashville, Tennessee. For Jeremy Dale, Marty Reid, and Jan Beekhus, I'm Bob Varsha. So long from Sebring. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Tonight, the #1 seed in the Mid-East, Tennessee, kept its perfect season intact at Rutgers' expense. Jamaica Holtzclaw, her usual spectacular self,